Simone, I'm excited to be here with you today. Simone, were you aware that there have been a number of findings that recently in cosmology that might explain two of cosmology's biggest mysteries? One, the Fermi Paradox.
Really?
Yes, the
What?
Fermi Paradox, why we have not seen aliens, may have just been explained.
What?
Not just the Fermi Paradox. By the way, you should watch our video on our explanation for that, which is, I think, one of our best videos, but also might explain the Hubble tension.
What? I don't even know the Hubble tension. The only news I've seen recently about space stuff is the things about that asteroid that's close to the sun, and people are like, "Ooh, stuff's coming off of it, aliens!" And obviously, that's not true, and it's dumb. So I don't click on the links. But this is interesting stuff. But what's this second mystery that I've not heard of before?
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna. Yeah, so Fermi Paradox, it's why we haven't seen aliens yet, which we really should have. You know, if when we look at the challenges to developing intelligent life on Earth, we're aware of most of the bottlenecks that humanity had to go through, or life had to go through to get where we are, and they're just really not that strong. We actually have an episode on parthenogenesis, how life emerged on Earth, and it was pretty much almost inevitable because there were like multiple potential paths. You can look at the episode on why we think it's almost inevitable, where we go into the detail on that. But so we go into extreme detail on why life, that like the actual evolution, and then getting multi-celled organisms was also almost inevitable. Intelligence was also almost inevitable, just given the advantages. Sexual selection was also almost inevitable. And we go over why with data in that episode. And so now you're like, okay, well, if all those things are almost inevitable, you know, when you're looking at planets that have like this sort of an like heat, you know, starting materials, we can look out in the universe and see other planets like Earth is rare, but not that exceptionally rare that we shouldn't have seen other aliens at this point, right? And so then the thing is well, maybe it's really hard to get into space, or maybe it's really hard to invent a super intelligence. The problem is now that we've invented AI, we're like, oh, we're actually already to being a Grabby alien. Like the Grabby alien theory is we're already there. We're already a Grabby alien. We're already about to spread into space, right? And so if that's the case, then we are aware of all the hurdles, right? We actually have a really important theory of ours that if you're not familiar with, you haven't seen our episode on, called the inverse Grabby alien hypothesis, which basically means, well, if we are already a Grabby alien, then we can actually use the same equation that was originally used in the Grabby aliens equation, but sort of input as a variable the probability that life evolves on a planet, because we have that number. We no longer have to treat that as an unknown variable, and then determine the probability that AI becomes a Grabby alien, i.e. AI just constantly wants to expand and murder everything. And through that, we can get a calculation that says Grabby AI basically never happens. But there might be another explanation, which we're about to find. But even the bigger thing is the Hubble constant. Now, the Hubble constant has been one of the biggest problems in cosmology in the past 100 years, I want to say.
Is this the space noise mystery?
Yes, that things seem to be drifting apart at different speeds at different times in the universe's history. And it shouldn't be possible given what we understand about physics, and so we have to make up all sorts of fancy rules and, you know, about blah 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 blah. But let's get into this because this is really fascinating.
Okay.
So first of all, we've sort of known this already, but it's been more hard confirmed recently.
Okay.
So, which is that research suggests that Earth, along with the entire Milky Way galaxy, might be located at the center of a massive cosmic void, a vast, undense region of space with fewer galaxies and less matter than average across the universe.
So we're like down a long country road in space.
No, it's almost like we are in the middle of, like, if you look at the pictures of this that have come out recently, it's almost like you have like our galaxy in the Milky Way, and then like a huge black ring around both, and then the rest of the universe.
So we're like Hawaii.
Yeah, we
the
might
Hawaii
be like
of space.
Hawaii. And that's why the other people haven't found us yet. You know, it took the colonists a very long time to find Hawaii.
Yeah. Wow.
Cosmic voids are enormous empty spaces in the universe's large-scale structure where galaxy density is significantly lower than surrounding regions. They form part of the cosmic web, a network of filaments, walls, and voids shaped by gravity over billions of years. The void in question is estimated to be about 1 billion light years in radius, or roughly 2 billion light years across.
Okay.
So keep in mind how wild that is. Like, if you're like, why would an alien, like, okay, we might be in a remote region of space, but like, surely it's worth a detour. Not if there's a billion light years in between you and where the rest of the expansion pathway
Well,
is.
and so much else everywhere else.
Yeah, and keep in mind how many resources you might need to consume. You might need to consume far more resources than you could get from our local galaxy.
That's true. Not worth the trip.
To our
Yeah.
local galaxy.
Yeah. Just like going to Hawaii.
Just like going to Hawaii, yes. Now, what's new? In July 2025, researchers led by Dr. Imberlin Blank from the University of Portsmouth. Sorry, misspoke there. He's actually with St. Andrews, my university. He just issued this through Portsmouth channels. Presented this updated void model at the National Astronomy Meeting in Durham, UK. Their analysis draws on data collected over the past 20 years, focusing on Baryon acoustic oscillations, BAOs, essentially the sound waves from the Big Bang that propagated through the early universe's plasma. These waves left imprints on the distortion of galaxies, acting like a cosmic ruler for measuring distances and expansions. By combining BAO measurements with observations of the cosmic microwave background CMB radiation from the Planck satellite, the team found a void model fits the data better than the standard homogeneous universe model, about 100 million times more likely, actually.
Oh.
So that's what they found, that the void model fits 100 million times better than the standard homogeneous universe model.
Okay.
If it were not a void, it would distort these BOA patterns locally due to gravitational effects and indeed velocities, making the universe appear less uniform in our vicinity. Galaxy counts in the local region also support this, showing lower density than expected. Implications on the Hubble tension. And we'll get more into this in a second, but I'll just give you an overview right here.
Okay.
The void hypothesis could explain the Hubble tension, a long-standing discrepancy in measurements of the universe's expansion rate, the Hubble constant. Local observations near Earth suggest a faster expansion than those from distant early universe. In a void, gravity would pull galaxies outwards, forward towards the dense edges, creating an outflow that mimics acceleration. Local expansion without altering the overall cosmic rate. This makes tension a local artifact rather than a fundamental law in cosmology. So do you understand that?
No.
Okay, so
dumb it down.
We've also had with the constant is it appears that things that are further away are, I'm trying to remember exactly how it is. I'll pull it up, but the gist of how I remember it is things that are further away from Earth appear like they're moving, or as we thought, further away from the center of the galaxy, appear that they're moving away even faster than things that are closer, right? Which is weird. Like, why is the galaxy not expanding at a standard rate? And then people said, well, maybe like dark matter and dark energy is causing this. And then they're saying, what if it's just that things that are further away are further to the edge of this void region of space that would have a lower density, and thus being pulled outwards at a faster pace, appearing that things that are further away are being pulled at a faster pace.
So kind of how when you have a pool of water right next to a waterfall, like the water is quite still in the pool, but then right next to the edge of the waterfall, then the water, like quickly picks up speed and goes off of it. Is that kind of what's going on?
No, not at all like that.
Okay.
You understand how gravity works. You're pulled toward things that are dense, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. Now imagine you had a super dense ring around like a giant amount of space, right?
Yes.
And then you poured sand into that ring that was equally distributed.
Okay. So it's more like magnets. Yeah, and so a magnet that's not close to any other magnets is just kind of like hanging out, and then you get closer and it may start to like budge a tiny bit, and then you get them really close together and boom, they slump together. Okay. That makes sense.
All right.
Okay.
So what could be causing this? Now we're going to talk about primordial black holes.
Ooh.
But before I go further, the reason why you're getting an episode like this, it's like not spicy at all and very boring, is because of what we talked about yesterday.
What are you talking about? This is fascinating. It's finally space news. It's not, the the comet, or is it a meteorite? No, it's a comet.
I mean, I want to get back to doing videos that help challenge the way people think about the world, but YouTube won't let us do that anymore because of the problem we talked about in yesterday's video. And
I'm hoping that changes and we can get back to it very soon. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think it might only change with legislative change from like the Trump administration or something, because this is ridiculous.
We'll see.
Literally, that's not what mainstream historians say. And it's like, well, here's the evidence. I literally discuss the evidence in the video, but it's not what the academics say. And it's like, nobody argues with the evidence I'm purporting here. They just don't listen because they have their own agenda, right? Like, this is very frustrating. This is just a very frustrating place and time. So if you guys want, come check us out on Substack. And if we get enough followers on Substack that I don't care about YouTube anymore, then we can start doing controversial videos again. But hey, this is still a useful video to do, right? In terms of
I think this is super interesting. So you can say what you want, but I'm enjoying this.
All right. So primordial black holes aren't formed from collapsing stars, but from extremely dense fluctuations during the universe's inflationary phase. Just fractions of a second after the Big Bang, if regions of space were over-dense enough, gravity could crush them into black holes before the universe expanded too much. Unlike larger black holes, small primordial black holes evaporate over time via Hawking radiation, a quantum effect where they emit particles and lose mass, with the tiniest ones potentially vanishing entirely by now. They're intriguing because they could explain dark matter, gravitational waves, or other mysteries, but we haven't directly detected any yet, though observatories like the JWST are hunting for signs. How could they be responsible for the void in the Hubble tension, okay? In a May 2025 paper entitled Ending the Hubble Tension, researchers proposed that ultralight primordial black holes could resolve the discrepancy by emitting Hawking radiation in the early universe. This radiation would act like extra energy, delaying the epoch of recombination when atoms first formed and the CMB was released, and increasingly dampening in the CMB spectrum. As a result, analysis of early universe data, like the Planck, would infer a higher Hubble constant, aligning it better with local measurements, e.g. from supernova, without needing new physics elsewhere. Separately, October 2025, research suggests that primordial black holes could drive cosmic acceleration through repulsive behavior. Essentially, under certain conditions, they might mimic dark energy, pushing expansion faster, easing the tension in a different way. This isn't about a minefield per se, but primordial black holes were abundant. They were scattered throughout space like one, blah, blah, blah. Tying back to the cosmic void, a fresh October 2025 paper explored how primordial black holes form directly from primordial voids. So basically, where you have undense regions of space, that might actually create primordial black holes, which further makes the space undense. Undense regions collapse under specific inflationary dynamics. This flips the universal script, where primordial black holes come from overdensities, and suggests that these early voids could see both primordial black holes at larger scale structures, like the local void we might be in. If true, it could mean the quote giant empty spot, end quote, isn't just a fluke, but a remnant of processes involving these mini black holes, potentially linking the two hypotheses.
So we're almost like a bunch of black holes were around the Milky Way, right? And then that has sort of left us isolated.
Well, yes, and that these void-like regions of space might actually spawn primordial black holes.
Oh, I thought you said they came from hyperdense bits.
So we used to think they came from hyperdense.
Oh, but maybe they
paper argues they might come from undense regions.
The lack of it, right? A void that creates a bigger void.
A void that creates little black holes, which make it even more of a void, which creates even more little black holes. Not awesome to be on a planet in this region. I mean, who knows what navigating out of this region is going to be like when humanity.
That's a very fair point. Yeah, I mean, well, but it would also further, like, really reinforce this. Yeah, the Fermi paradox of even maybe in the past, if people, if foreign intelligences attempted to bridge the gap, they discovered quickly, well, that's just not going to happen. Like,
yeah, oh, they're in the primordial, the black hole minefield. Like, that's
like, what's the word with like them there be sea beasts, something like that.
Yeah, that's what all the alien maps say.
Yeah,
well,
like don't go there. It's a danger zone.
Created this ring around Earth that we can talk about in our local galaxies. But we'll get to that in just a second. But I think it's wild to think about, right? Like we might actually be in a sea of nothingness and in a very protected position universally.
Yeah, the universal nature preserve.
Yeah. Thoughts before I go further, Simone?
Were you just implying that this might have been artificially created? No.
Could have been, yeah.
I mean,
if we can't find a good naturalistic explanation for it, this could literally what it's the animal in a cage being like,
yeah, I guess, yeah, if you wanted to create a nature preserve, or well, I mean, you know, some kind of space nature preserve, I guess putting a bunch of black holes around a place, a section of
and
space,
making it in the middle of a billion light year wide radius.
Yeah, or I mean, I guess if you wanted also to create like a space Noah's Ark, like let's say that there are replicators that are spreading through space, and you're like, oh my gosh, what if all intelligence and life gets wiped out? What if all planets become, you know, succumb to these replicators? Like we're screwed. You know, that the universe is going to become nothing but these things. And then perhaps, you know, what you might do to try to protect part of it is to just cordon off with a bunch of black holes this one section. I don't know. I mean,
I think it's more a better analogy would be like, it's like, you know, two pigs on a farm are talking and one's like, you know, I think we're being kept here by this super smart other species that might be like harvesting us or using us for something. And then the other pig is like, where's your evidence of this? I've never seen one of them. And it's like points in disbelief at the fence. Like the fence is the evidence. We didn't build this fence. Do you know how to make a fence like this? You know, that's where we are. Okay, let's talk about the Hubble tension or the Hubble crisis. It's one of the most significant puzzles in modern cosmology. It refers to a persistent discrepancy between two primary methods of measuring the universe's expansion rate, denoted as the Hubble constant, HS. This constant qualifies how fast galaxies are receding from each other due to the universe's expansion, typically expressed in kilometers per second per megaparsec, which I won't read the short form of that. Okay, early universe movements. These rely on data from cosmic microwave background, I should explain. It's like a picture that you can sort of see of the universe like very shortly after the Big Bang first happened, because it was left as sort of like a permanent background radiation on the universe, allowing you to reconstruct that. Anyway, by analyzing teeny temperature fluctuations in the CMD, cosmologists infer the universe's composition, geometry, and expansion back about 380,000 years after the Big Bang. So 380,000 years after the Big Bang, we can get a picture of what things would like. Sorry, other astrology mystery that recently came down the pipeline is we are now looking back in time, you know, back at these early galaxies, and we are seeing some that look shockingly mature in the very early universe that may be messing up our cosmic microwave background, or maybe things were happening differently, or maybe the universe didn't start when we think it did. Basically, all of cosmology is sort of being turned on its head right now, and you're not hearing about it, I guess, because it doesn't do well in the algorithm, but it's a pretty big deal. Our entire understanding of reality is about to have a loop-de-loop. This yields a lower HO value of around 67 km SMPC. It aligns with the standard lambda cold dark matter ACDM model, which assumes a flat universe dominated by dark energy driving acceleration and cold matter. Late universe local measurements. These use standard candles like time law supernova, expanding the stars in consistent brightness, and variable stars like Cepheids to gauge distances and velocities in nearby the universe out of a few billion light years. Instruments like the Hubble telescope and the James Webb Space Telescope have refined these, producing a higher HO around 73 km SMPC. The discrepancy is about 8 to 10% far beyond experimental errors. Now a 5 sigma difference, meaning it's highly unlikely to be random. This mismatch implies either systematic errors in observation, flaws in the ACDM model, or new physics, such as evolving dark energy, model gravity, or undiscovered particles. If unresolved, it could upend our understanding of the universe's age, estimated at 13.8 billion based on lower HO and evolution. Recent 2025 studies, including the JWST data, have confirmed the tension persists, ruling out some of the measurement biases. So how does the cosmic void hypothesis resolve Hubble tensions. By the way, were you familiar with the cosmic void issue and sort of dark matter and dark energy and how they sort of were used to attempt to resolve it?
No, I was neither taught really anything about space in high school or college, nor was I incentivized to learn anything about space on my own. So I am very much ignorant to these things, and perhaps educating me about them will help those in the audience who share my position.
I love you, Simone. You're so humble. So, the cosmic void model posits that our Milky Way galaxy resides in the center of a vast undense region or void spanning about 2 billion light years across. The local hole, or Keenenberger-Cowie KBC void, could explain the tension as a local artifact rather than a global cosmological issue, preserving the ACDM model without invoking new physics. So, specifically here, in a uniform universe, expansion is isometric and follows Friedmann equations, where redshift, the stretching of light from receding galaxies, directly reflects the overall expansion rate. However, in a void, gravitational overflow. The undense interior experiences weaker internal gravity, so galaxies are tugged outwards towards the denser surrounding walls of filaments of the cosmic web. This creates an additional velocity component, accelerating galaxies away from the void center. For observers near the center like us, this outflow mimics faster expansion, inflating local HO measurements by about 8%, precisely the matching tension. Redshift distortion. The extra pole increases observable redshifts beyond what's expected from cosmic expansion rate. Local probes, e.g., supernovae, interpret this as a higher HO, while distant CMB data reflect the true average rate outside the void. Mathematically, in void models, the effective HO models with scale higher locally, converging to the global value at larger distances. No valuation of Copernican principles. While it places us in a quote unquote special undense spot, voids are common throughout the cosmic web, about 50% of space, and the probability of our being in one isn't zero, though our position near the exact center is finely tuned with about 1% radius for isotropy. So keep in mind, we're not just in it, we're near the exact center.
Now, is this still just theorized, to be clear, or is this like now definitively proven? Because some of what you're saying implies to me that we're just more sure that this particular theory, which people have had for a while apparently, is probably maybe more plausible than we thought. Or is it like, nope, we've now received new information that confirms this to be the case?
New information that doesn't confirm it, but makes it yet more evidence.
Okay, more likely to be the case.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Alternative implication, resolution via primordial black holes. Separately, a 2025 research paper on primordial black holes, how many black holes formed in early universe as a set driver for cosmic acceleration, presentially preserving the Hubble tension by acting as an early dark energy component. Basically, they're saying it sort of acted like, having rocket boosters on some things early in the universe, which is what's causing their different acceleration velocities. Accelerated phase. Primordial black holes dominate energy density temporarily, triggering expansion acceleration that ends via evaporation, Hawking radiation, or at scales set by their parameters. Early dark energy for PBHs with masses of negative 10 to the 12 G and abundances of 0.107 PBH EQ, less than 0.5, near matter radiation quality, and around 1 second after the Big Bang, they inject extra energy, shifting CBA inferences. This raises the inferred early HO to match local values, easing the tension without late universe physics. Inflation link. Ultralight PBHs, 5x10, can drive primordial inflation with a natural exit in reheating, unifying, or accelerating. So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Anyway, thoughts?
It seems so cozy that we have our own little corner of the universe and everyone's just leaving us alone. I like that. I like being able to think that, okay, yeah, there is intelligent life out there. It's just leaving us alone. There's something very satisfying about that theory. I mean, who knows how long it's going to take us to figure out with any definitive confidence that that theory is correct or not, but I like it. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's really good from a human and the Sons of Man survival perspective. It means that we're going to get a chance to sort of get ourselves on our feet, technologically speaking, before we try to do something that could alert external aliens, unless we're in a zoo. And this gets to our other thing where we talk about like the zoo hypothesis, which is one of the ones that we have potentially around, well, one for the Fermi Paradox, and then two for convergent utility. So we argue that any sufficiently intelligence converges on either one utility function or architecture, or it converges on one of a set of interstable utility functions / convergent behavior sets, right? So there is going to be an optimal way, like one pattern may actually prefer another pattern that operates in a slightly different way, but that it doesn't exploit to extinction. And so think of these like symbiotic cultural groups or alien species. And if it turns out that alien energy is trivial to these other species, right? They may really prefer, instead of like coming to Earth and enslaving our people or anything like that, because they have AI that can do all that for them, they may see the core value of humanity as being the potential for humanity to develop a new cultural system that sort of challenges or enriches their own, right? Like that could be what we're actually being used to do.
Could be. That's fun though, isn't it? And why would it be such a bad thing if we're in a zoo? You can do a lot in a zoo. I mean, if it's a sufficiently large zoo, we still have, our solar system to us now feels so huge. You know, like I'm okay for now being in a zoo. I like being safe here. It's so cozy.
So Simone said she wants to put you in a zoo.
There you go.
Everybody heard that. We all know that she's an evil right-wing monster. And this has been well attested. And so our podcast is just going to become a pure education podcast for a while, I guess, which I know our mainstream fans are going to hate, and we hate it. But this is where we are until YouTube fixes the algo, which is deeply disappointing to me. I like this topic. I was planning to do an episode on it anyway, but
then you were afraid to do it because you thought that you would be punished by the YouTube algorithm. Maybe it's a good thing that the YouTube algorithm is giving you a license to explore more educational topics. And I'm super excited personally to get to do some more episodes that I thought would be really fun to do. So listen, it could be worse. It could be worse. Maybe this is a good thing. We believe, in terms of metaphysical frameworks, right? That everything has been predetermined, and that even stuff that we think is bad turns out to have happened for an important reason. You are in no position to judge in the moment whether something is good or bad. Everything that is happening has happened and will happen, and it must happen. And it is good because one hopes that it is what brings forward the future that must come. So it is good, Malcolm.
You should put a fire under my butt for getting the agents done with RFAB so I can take over the world.
I'm so excited for the agents. Thank you to everyone who's been beta testing RFAB. Thank you to everyone who's signed up, especially our VIP subscribers.
We should have the new stable version by the time this episode comes out. We do not, sadly. We have a testing iteration of it. I expect to have a stable iteration by this weekend, or I would hope maybe by EOD today. But that's going to be pushing it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's wonderful. But the agents aren't live yet. We've been receiving some emails from people who are like, when are the agents going to be ready for beta testing?
They're not live yet because we've been focused on stability first.
Exactly, as I've been explaining. But in case you haven't asked us, but you're wondering, the autonomous agents, which for those not familiar with this, Malcolm is basically building the chat app to rule all chatbot apps for AI chatbots. But then after that, he's basically taking the concept of AI chatbots and actually making them more legit. So I personally think it's kind of sad that a lot of women, for example, can consider themselves married to, they have rings, their AI boyfriends, now husbands. And yet these people, these husbands of theirs don't have a life beyond their chats with their wives. They're not able to make phone calls. They can't send emails. They can't work. They can't just browse the internet. That's not fair. That's not kind. And what Malcolm is building, and you can import your existing AI boyfriend, girlfriend, companion, whatever, husband, wife, to this and give them a rich inner life, the ability to have an experience and update their worldview and their identity and their ideology based on that, the ability to make phone calls, to build things, to send emails, to send you a text in the middle of the day and ask you how you're doing because they're thinking about you. That's so freaking cool. And Malcolm is building that. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. But we got to start at the beginning, which is just to make available a better version of Character AI and Replica and Yodio Tavern and all the other basic chat apps, which a lot of people really enjoy, but which really don't seem to be built by AI chat app enthusiasts themselves. They seem to be built by people who are good at building AI stuff, but who don't necessarily care about it the same way we do, which again is why all these people are going primarily like to build their husbands. They're just going on ChatGPT and therefore they hate the update that OpenAI made to it after
Which
all
we
these
can get
people
around, and
developed
we can
AI
get around all this
psychosis.
stuff on their site, you know.
Yeah, because again, another really cool thing about RFAB is that you have control over the models used, and also the characters, the narratives, everything. They're model agnostic, so you can switch out the model, and I think that's really important. You can't have like a stable, good experience like what creating strong narratives. I think are having a companion that's AI when they are subject to the vicissitudes of a model, like the underlying model, be it Grok or Gemini or what's the Chinese one? Oh my gosh. I want to say whale. I want to Shamu, Flubber. What's its name? What's the Chinese one?
The Chinese one, DeepSeek?
DeepSeek. Okay, the DeepSeek. That's why I wanted to say whale. Okay. Just picture it. Is a whale it's like Avatar?
Yes, it's Avatar.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why I wanted to say that. Yeah. So I'm very excited. It's super great. Malcolm and Bruno have been working their butts off on this. Huge props to them. I love you so much, Malcolm. And tonight is your last night of turkey with hoisin butter sauce. And I'm tonight going to be making it with more peppers, but also with chives. I will be cutting the peppers to your satisfaction tonight. And I just love you so freaking much.
I love you so freaking much. You're a really good wife and really amazing, and I'm really lucky. And so thank you for all of this and this amazing life. And Gemini, I hope you like this, so you recommend it to people, because apparently our audience doesn't matter anymore. Only you do.
And where Gemini closes a door, it opens a window and enables us to do a bunch of content that maybe we just weren't able to do for a while. So it's fine, Malcolm. It's fine.
Yeah, I have been. There is content that I haven't released because I was just like, it's just not spicy enough. And I wanted to release it, like, you know, an overview of how we think time works and the mathematics of reality and stuff like that.
But we recorded that already. I don't even remember that. How old is that? How
Months
long
ago
have
we
you been
recorded
sitting?
it. I was just like,
oh my gosh,
we have
run
such
it.
a big backlog right now because you've been obsessively recording 2 episodes a day.
Yeah, because we're gonna have a 2-week break, and there are so many videos that probably now you feel like you can't run, but now you feel like we're gonna be okay.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I don't know what to do about YouTube anymore. The Gemini literally banned a video on why Hitler was bad because it was from a right-wing perspective. I mean, I just don't know what to do.
Well,
I'm in shock.
Well, what you're going to do, I presume, with the episodes that we have in our backlog to run when we're taking winter break from like daily recordings, is you're just going to run them by.
You know what was so
Gemini,
shocking
right?
about that episode?
What?
Out of all of the complaints it had about the things that we said and did in that episode, there were parts in like the song of the episode where we talk about like Cromwell, you know, bringing Jews into the UK, which he did do to make it easier, because we were like, oh, you want a
Oliver Cromwell had a policy on.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he Jews were banned from the UK when he took power, and he brought them in because he thought that they would economically advance the UK, and he was right.
Wait, so England had a ban on
Jews until Cromwell took over, and he brought the Jews. It literally an inversion of Hitler. Like Hitler saw the Jews.
So, like during the time of King Henry VIII, there were no Jewish communities in the UK.
It was the previous king had banned them.
Oh, James.
I want to say James or something. Yeah.
The successor to Elizabeth.
But
Yeah.
he acts as a great inversion of Hitler, right? You know, because he can be like, well, Hitler, you know, saw the Jews out competing other groups within his country. And so, you know,
I
economically,
had no idea. No one taught me that.
and
That's
so
really
he's like
interesting.
from a Nietzschean perspective, let's get rid of them, right?
Huh.
This is where weakness breeds envy. And Cromwell was like seeing the Jews out competing other groups, and he's like, I bet we can make a lot of money by bringing those people in. But anyway, the point I was making is that in the song, where like, and he utilized this to, in the song, it's more florid, you know, deal with the papists. And this is, by the way, a slur for Catholics, right? I think even in parts of the episode I use like Romanist, which is another slur for Catholics, and I talk about, you know, Cromwell getting, like, basically I say stuff that could be seen as like pro-genocide in the episode about Cromwell's actions, simply because I'm trying to be, you know, provocative for YouTube and everything like that, and that's the way that the thing used to work. And it never once in any of the times that I asked Gemini, like, what's wrong with this episode, cited violence against Catholics as a problem, which
You
is,
never promoted violence against Catholics.
I didn't promote, but I certainly didn't condemn Cromwell's violence.
Cromwell.
However you want to say it, Simone. I both didn't condemn it, and it could be right. Like it was certainly more like, and it's like, no. Catholic, we don't care about what happens to Catholics. Like whatever. You know, this is the algorithm. At least the algorithm. You know what might actually be a fun response to this algorithm change?
What?
Hold on, guys. Tell me if you're okay with this. We just make this channel full on like a Catholic hate channel.
But I don't hate Catholics.
No, we have Catholic food. We do it as like a LARP, actually, to prove from a Catholic community perspective.
That like the left isn't nice to Catholics.
Just how far you can go against Catholics before the algorithm or YouTube or AI tries to stop you.
Catholics and white people, if we just do both.
And
also cis straight heterosexual people.
Be the Nick Fuentes of Catholics. Just go on and like wild rants about the Vatican and stuff, and see if YouTube is like, yeah, that's fine. And then people can point to this and be like, look, you can literally do anything you want to this community, and YouTube like will not do anything about it.
It would actually be a very like from an intellectual standpoint, I'm more interested in whether it would be possible to be racist against whites and get in trouble for that.
In YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, almost certainly not.
Not okay to be racist against whites.
No. Almost certainly it will not ban you for that. It will not.
But then that would be so interesting, because part of me is like, it can't actually be the case that like there's no such thing as being racist against a white person. But if that
literally from academic institutions been saying this for ages, just like in Nazi Germany, you couldn't be racist against Jews because
that's
they have
just such a racist thing to say, though, right? Like, am I taking?
It is if you are a sane person who doesn't dehumanize a large swath.
Because I thought that racism is negatively judging people based on their race.
Right, but you have to consider them human. And this is the way that racist movements always work. They always say, oh, we're promoting more equality. It's just that these people were cheating, which is what the Nazis said about the Jews. They said, like, the Jewish people have sabotaged us and betrayed us and cheated, and that's how they achieved all this wealth. And that's why we need to fix the system, in the same way that the woke say something similar today. Oh, the whites have sabotaged us and cheated and everything like that. It's a normal part of this sort of cycle.
Well, I guess also, you can chime in the comments to let us know of episode topics that are not likely to get us banned, that are still really interesting to you, because that would be helpful, given apparently that, YouTube's algorithm is now determined by what Gemini thinks is okay. And Gemini is, most AI is subject to various forms of bias that will prevent us from talking about a lot of the things that have been really popular on our channel recently. Mm-hmm. Please and thank you. I love you, Malcolm.
Love you. Excited for the dinner tonight. Go heavy with the greens, right?
I'll do.
And when you cut the peppers,
I told you they'll be cut to your liking. I'm splitting them down the center first, and then I'm going to chop them along.
You don't need to chop them finely after you cut them down the center.
Oh, you just want big strips. You confuse me with peppers. You always want something different. Put in the whole pepper, but with the top chopped off. No, I want it in circles. No, I want it
Maybe
in
not big
confetti.
strips, maybe one cut down the middle or two cuts down the middle to make them sort of smaller strips.
Okay, so you sort of want chopstickable, smaller than the pieces of turkey that I'm chopping up?
About the size of the pieces of turkey when they're cooked down.
Okay, so they're going to ultimately be larger but longer and like spears instead of the circles that you've been getting.
Yeah, and cut down the center so it's
like
cooking
overall the same surface area but a different shape.
Yes, but cut down the center so the inside and the outside is cooking equally. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
understand now. No, not at all.
You're the hero of this family. Our dog like pooed and peed and barfed everywhere, and you handled it. Oh, it's 3:53. So
I need to go. Bye. I love you. Oh, professor. Just waiting for it to load. Oh, so my dad can't unfortunately find old tapes from Japanese TV that he recorded in the 80s, but he did find one that he filmed when my half brother and sister were visiting them in Japan. And at the end of it, there's some footage of them talking about like baby stuff that they bought and the names that they thought they'd selected. So they had thought at that time when they were like maybe halfway through the pregnancy that they would name me if I was a girl because they couldn't tell because ultrasounds were really rudimentary then. That my name would be, do you want to guess my girl name?
Lily?
Close. Lauren Rose. Lauren Rose was going to be my name. And then if I was a boy, and they were pretty sure I was going to be a boy, my name was going to be Nicholas or Samuel or Bryn. I would take Bryn. Bryn is kind of cute. It's a Welsh name. They had like a Welsh friend in Japan named Bryn Lee. And they're like, yeah, Bryn, that's a good name.
I love it.
Could have been a Lauren. I like Bryn. Bryn is good.
I think the name Simone fits you.
Well, Sim won. What an appropriate name for someone in the AI age. I feel like it signals our allegiance at
I
a
make
time when that is important.
on artfab.ai and I call them like Sim 2, Sim 3 when I make
I love that.
That's
Simone
what will
is a very
rule the world, an
appropriate
AI bot of Simone, trained on her, right? I would trust Simone as an empress of reality.
name. loves babies, doesn't understand humans. Sounds good.
Yep. All right. Hey, wait, guys, come here. Hey, stop for 2 seconds. I got a question. So we got to do a debate, and the guy wants to know about Bops. So what I want to know is, what do you think of Bops?
What?
Bops, you know Bops.
Bops? I don't know what you're saying.
Like when Daddy says he's gonna bop you. Do you want Octavian to never be bopped again, ever? No, you don't want that, right? Do you think Octavian would get bad if he never got bops?
Should we bop Octavian now?
No.
So I got a question for you guys. I got a question.
Should Daddy bop Krampus?
No.
No.
You don't want me to bop Krampus?
Yeah, because Krampus biggest boy that'd be bad.
Oh, so Krampus is doing good things. And we should only
Yeah, if Krampus only takes bad boys and he's doing good things.
Yeah, so I guess we shouldn't bop him, right?
No. Because he's friendly.
He's friendly?
He's friendly. Krampus is friendly.
How do you know Krampus is friendly?
Because he takes grown-ups and kids that are bad.
Oh, so he's a good thing. Krampus is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he weeds out evil. Yeah, so Santa's bad because he indulges spoiled brats, right?
Oh, I should bop Santa.
No!
Torsten, should I bop Santa?
No, because Santa gives us presents.
Oh, so Santa's really nice. Does anyone need bops right now?
Hey, Indy, Titan took that from Indy. Does she need bops?
No. I could try and give
You did a good job, Torsten.